Scotland decides. In the second of the Herald's political debates ahead of May's Scottish elections, Liberal Democrat leader Nicol outlines his vision for the nation, here at Glasgow's Mitchell Library. The Deputy First Minister, who spent the morning at the launch of his party's manifesto, was quizzed by Chair Alf Young about whether the issue of independence would scupper any potential coalition with the SNP after polling day.
So if the priority is smaller class sizes or more local health centres or a renewables revolution in Scotland, then we could work with the SNP on those policies. But if they put this one fundamental block, this fundamental barrier in the way of cooperation with other parties, then there'll be real difficulties.
The Aberdeen South MSP was then asked to explain his pledge to sourcing all electricity in Scotland from renewables by 2050.
Scotland has about 25% of Europe's potential capacity for wave and tidal and wind energy. A lot of that is offshore, and we've got some leading edge technology. We've got a rare combination. We've got the oil and gas offshore industry here with all the skills and the technology, the experience of working in these difficult environments. And we've got companies like Ocean Power Delivery in Edinburgh and Leith with the leading wave machine at the moment being installed in Portugal.
Stephen's attention was then turned to his policies on tax, where he plans to scrap the council tax and introduce a local income charge at just over 3p in the pound.
First of all, I believe it's really important that we get rid of the council tax in Scotland. It's deeply unpopular and it penalises pensioners and the lowest paid the most. I think a fair system of local income tax based on ability to pay is something that the majority of people in Scotland would support, and more than 70% of households would be better off under our scheme of local income tax.
The session was then opened up to the floor, where Stephen faced questions on economic development, cultural provisions in the Highlands, and skills issues in Scotland. But it was the Lib Dem leader's tax policy that proved most intriguing.
It's really just the SNP policy of 3p on the pound, with a tiny little bit of wriggle room to give local authorities 0.25%. We were surprised by that. I think we expected something, different bands, different figures, more local flexibility.
With the polls suggesting that no party will achieve a majority, what did columnist Alf Young make of the Lib Dems' attitude to a third term in coalition?
Well, it would be a surprise after 8 years of being in coalition if they had come into this election saying we don't like coalition anymore. And I suppose it does offer them an opportunity to be, since the Tories have said they'll not do it, for the Lib Dems, if the polls are to believe the next biggest block of seats, to be able to say, here we are, come and talk to us. But they're laying down some markers, notably a marker saying unless the SNP drops the idea of an independence referendum, we're not for that, and we wouldn't be able to negotiate on the basis of that. But I think all of them are trying to kind of keep their negotiating powder dry until May the 4th.